it saves, Canon saves pictures in a different format, and then you have to change it again. I get so lost in that that I've given up doing RAW.
Are you using photo elements?
Yeah.
You on photo elements? Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Chuck.
Hello.
Susan, I can't even get to elements because it's in that I have to convert the Canon file to a file that elements will take, and it
really
do you have a Mac or do you have a PC?
PC.
Okay.
So
one problem I was having when I was working in Photoshop, it would want to save it as a PSD, and I have to stop that and say no, make it a JPEG, because otherwise it would come to, and you have all kinds of trouble opening it.
Do you also have do you have a PC or a Mac?
I have both, but I use my Mac
because I could tell you what to do with your Mac. I mean, I know how to get it. Yeah, I could tell you what to do there, but so that it does do what you want it to do. And you have Photoshop elements?
I use Photoshop.
He's got the big one.
I'm assuming that it will be the same, but I don't.
What it is, I noticed it's like only when I do the first image, it wants to save in PSD as a photo, and I say no, JPEG, and then for every image thereafter, it's fine. So I just got to remember not to export a whole bunch of them, because then I got to go back and change them.
Because when I do export, I export it, from, it's in Photos, and then there's either an export one or export as whatever, and I export it, and then it exports as a JPEG and a CR2.
Okay.
And then if I double click on the CR2, it automatically opens in Photoshop Elements.
Okay. Yeah.
And then when I modify whatever, there's either open or open as copy. And I sometimes click on open as copy, and then it, yeah.
I'm gonna call you, if I may, and you're my instructor now. She helped me get my prints made.
Or just come out, because see, I don't know how it would work. I'm not sure how. I know how it would work from the Mac.
I think my trouble is that CR2 business. So if I can get around that, then I'm okay.
I mean, you can call me and we can try it on the phone. Okay. And I can even come over and do whatever. So either way. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get there someday.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I can help. I'm glad I can help with something.
Yeah.
I can't take pictures, but I can help with this stuff.
But now Susan and Frank and I are Canon users. Bob, are you Canon?
No, I'm not Canon.
You're not Canon? No, but you have Mac. You have a Mac.
I have Mac, yeah.
I have a Mac, right? Because
it really, Helen, it really shouldn't matter whether you're trying to import a Mac file into your into Elements or whatever software, because it seems like as long as you're using it in the raw format or JPEG, it should, it's like Nikon's the file name is always ending in .nef, but it's still a raw file.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Canon must have whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it, but
the CR2 business.
And see, the thing is, when I double click on the CR2, it automatically opens it in Photoshop Elements.
Right. And when I do it, when I said I use Photoshop, that was a partial truth. I also use Lightroom because I like Lightroom for importing. I just go to my disk that I took out of the camera, and it imports all of those photos in there, and I go through them. And once I don't want to keep, once I want to, I give it a 5 rating. And then I just go work on those, and then I can export them to any file on my computer.
Yeah, I do something kind of like that too, but I don't use Lightroom, but yeah.
It works great. And I don't know, I find processing in the raw and Lightroom, sometimes I feel like I'm getting a little better results than with the Photoshop. Sometimes I use Photoshop if I'm only going to do one image, or I've already run it through Lightroom and I have it in a file. I want to go in and touch up some things. Then I'll just pull it up in the Photoshop. But I'm hoping more people. So we did get, we got 18 photos from all of us here. Tim put some in. And Josie puts, oh, here comes Tim.
There's
Yeah,
Tim.
Tim was here a minute ago.
Oh, he was? Okay. I missed him. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Howdy.
How you doing?
We're in the midst of tour, so it's nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for the art tours, you mean?
Yeah.
Are you on the Chatham Art Tour, Tim?
I am.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Hope you're
Anyways,
meeting a lot of
busy.
nice people.
Yeah, I have met a lot of nice people. You meet all kinds of people.
Yeah. Good and bad, right?
Well, I don't know if they're good or bad, but some of them want to just talk about gear, and then the others don't even really walk through and look at the art. They just come in and talk about their art.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They want to impress you with what they know.
Right.
Oh, well, it's okay though, because this year my wife is offering classes, so whenever they go down the road, I'm a watercolor artist, and and my wife will go, here, I'm offering classes, and sign up and I'll send you some information. So
Oh, okay.
in the creative field, you got to be creative about how you make your money.
Yeah, you got to figure out how to monetize your contacts. I'm just kidding.
Put a dollar sign on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, one thing I guess I could bring up now, I had talked to Helen and Mike about the possibility on our next meeting, which is going to be held on December 19th. It's on a Tuesday. It's going to be at the chapel. It's going to be hybrid. We're thinking of maybe having a little holiday party at that point. And I want to see how many would be interested, and how many will be there, because it's, we need to have people in attendance, obviously, to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
that'd
away.
be great.
Okay.
I have to
That
look
sounds-
at the
sounds nice,
calendar.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
What I'll do then is I'll wait until, the rest come on, whoever is coming. I'm sure Josie will be here because she submitted some, but I'll put out another email like I did here, just to get an idea of who would like to do it and who will be there. Because I was thinking of maybe I was going to go over to Publix and get they have a tray of like those finger sandwiches. That would, feed maybe 12 people, and everybody else brings some cookies and cakes or whatever, and some refreshments, but just keep it simple. And then after the meeting, we do the review of the challenges. Then we just stay a little longer and have a little get together.
Be great.
All right. Sounds like everybody's in favor of doing that. Okay, good. Mike was definitely in favor of it, and so was Lynn, and Bill said, yeah, he'd be up for it. So
we would do that after the meeting.
Yeah, I guess really, get our business over with and then do this.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we have to give up the room awfully fast or anything, All right, so
Good.
Let's see. I've got 5 of 12. Wait another 5 minutes.
Sure.
Whenever the
Frank,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sue.
I have to leave at 1.
Okay, and that gives us an hour. I think. And what I'll do is,
I just want to let you know when I disappear that it's not anything anybody did. It's just.
But I'll make sure when I pull up the images, I'll grab yours first.
So
we make sure we review them before you leave.
Okay.
But but you were saying, Helen, about the weekend. I went up to that Hart Square cabins out in, let's see, it was in Vale, but it was really I forget the town that was near, but oh, it was a lot of fun. The place was decorated beautifully. There's 103 cabins there, and each one is either a home that was moved over to this site, or it was a tavern. There was 2 churches. There were they have crafts going on inside. So this was their like Christmas weekend. And the interesting thing was it was very cloudy, but no rain, but cloudy. But boy, that gave a nice mood to some of the photos. I put some out on Facebook.
Right.
And where is it? Where is it, Frank?
It's in the town of Vale. It's about 2.5 hours from here. You go out 40, and I'll send out a link to everybody, because I think they may be having something next weekend, but then after that, I think they're done with the holiday. And they had a dinner there. They have a big barn, and they had a dinner inside there for everybody. So we did that, and then walked around at night. And there's a blacksmith, tinsmith, all kinds of trades there.
But people don't live there, do they?
No, these were all volunteers.
Yeah, it's northwest of Charlotte,
Yep.
that makes you be in Lincolnton, and then it's somewhat northwest of Lincolnton.
Yeah, out that way.
If you think about it from there.
Because it was really in the town of, let's see. I'm trying to remember. I used to, when I worked for Thomasville, that's where all their upholstery plants were, but they're all closed now. I mean, that poor town was hit hard, when the furniture industry just really died out there. But it was just really a nice weekend. We enjoyed that.
Very good. I'm glad. Well, let's go on. Yeah, let's go on, and if we get other people.
No one's tried to cut. Okay, so let me pull up one of Helen's first, or Susan's, right? Give me.
Well, we got plenty of time. You don't have to do me first.
Now, let me see. I'm going to, let's see if I can find yours. Just give me a second here. Thank God I put everybody's name on them.
Oh. They're on the left. Yeah, to the left.
Are you seeing the images?
Yeah, Susan is on the left.
Let's go with this one. Can everybody see it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to move us kind of off to the side and then make this a little bigger. Okay, how's that?
Pretty good.
Good.
All right. You want to tell us a little bit, Sue?
Okay, so one of the things about this is that this is just a little shovel that, that I have that got all rusty.
Yeah.
One of the things I realized is that the background, I put it on white, and afterwards I thought I really should have had it on a different background. And so then I tried to look into Photoshop Elements to see how to change it, and I realized that I have to spend a little more time looking to see how to change the background.
Right.
The color, it would have been better on a different color.
Yeah, I guess. What you could have done is if you use that. I don't know if Elements has the lasso tool where you could have. And change the background.
I started to see it. It's just that it would probably take me a couple hours to figure it all out. So I just left it as it is, but it also made me think about how Bill always says that he likes to do stuff straight out of the camera. So it made me think that, what you also need to do is you could also get the background right by finding a piece of whatever it is.
But I'm looking at the background. It doesn't bother me. And I also like the shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow gives it a little bit of depth to the photo.
Yeah.
And if you had edited it, I imagine you would have lost the spider web, and I like the spider web being in there as it is.
Oh yeah.
That
adds to it, definitely.
I like the texture of the background.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
that is.
I just think a different color might have been. I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
No, but you've got enough there to work on. Like you said, experiment with take the image and experiment with lassoing the shovel out and put a different background in and see what you can do. Or just kind of really darken the background maybe. So that, there's a number of different things you can play around with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can change the color of the background and
Yeah.
leave the set the texture and the shadow.
I just need to know, I just need to practice how to do it. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, Tom, I just saw you. I was wondering where that voice came from.
Yeah. Hi, Tom.
Hi, everybody. I don't know
Tom.
why I changed it. I changed the meeting from 11:45 to 12.
12. Okay. Well, I needed the time to figure out. I was telling Helen, one of my gripes with Zoom is every time I open it, they've made changes. And I'm having a hell of a time getting these photos in here, not like it used to be. So I'm going to close this one, and then I'm going to open up Susan's other one. Okay, here we go. Drum roll. This one, I really like the texture in this one. Wow. Everybody can see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
That's nice.
Thank you.
it looks delicious. It looks like cinnamon cake.
This is the second one of these pictures that I've seen while I was talking to Frank, and they've made me hungry. What is it? Or what was
Okay,
it?
I actually wrote down what it is, and it's sort of a little embarrassing. My late husband was a woodworker, and his equipment is still 4.5 years later. His equipment is still in the shop because people who are supposed to take it haven't taken it, and that's a whole other story.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, this is a Powermatic 10-inch artisan table saw that has been,
Oh, okay. All right.
and it is, needless to say, rust.
Definitely. You definitely captured the rust. And like I said, I like the color and the texture on this.
Yeah, I do too.
This is really, really good.
Mhm.
I did some, like with Photoshop elements, I did, from the raw picture, I did some contrast sharpening, blacks, shadows, highlights. I did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, very good. I really like this image.
I also like how you arrange, the composition instead of being straight on. I like the angle. That looks nice too. It's pleasing.
Mhm.
I like it as well.
Yep. That's great. Okay, so let me close this. And let's see, I'll just go in order then, from the rest of them. So here we go with Tom's first, and this one is really good.
This is the other one that made me hungry. Yes.
Yeah, you thought of pizza when you saw this.
Wow.
And what is this again, Tom?
It's that piece of equipment that I find in the woods out there behind the Chatham Mills. And it's the head of a boiler.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's fairly big, and you can see all the bolts that it takes to hold down the pressure that was coming from the inside.
Wow. How big is it, Tom? Is it actually big?
Yeah, I wish I had something in there that could scale it, but except for the bolts. I guess it's probably 18 inches across, something like that.
Okay. All right.
Or maybe 2 feet. So that's what it was. And then I took it out, and and it's interesting when I think of it as a circle, but it's not really a circle. It's because of must have been shot slightly at an angle. Anyway, there it is. It's rust.
Oh,
And lots of different kinds of rust.
yeah. And there's a lot of colors in that rust.
Yeah.
You got a lot of oxidation going on inside there with different colors showing up.
Yeah. And I titled it, what did I title it? Something Transit. Yeah, like Chuck, you'll appreciate that. It looked like I had the other little piece of equipment down there that was attached to it. And it looks kind of like a planetary transit.
Yeah, it looks like yeah, it's like it reminds me of gearing. Even on a motorcycle, I mean a bicycle, motorcycle.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, the relationship of the two cylinders or discs.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I'm just now that I'm looking at some of those bolts, it's interesting. Some of the bolts look like the nut. Most of them are the nut side, but some
Yeah,
of them
right.
are the
Yeah.
head side.
Right. I was wondering about that.
Cool, yeah. Oh, and then there's
Yeah.
that little a section across the middle. It's a very interesting image. I really like it.
I do
Yeah.
too. The color contrast, the shadows,
Hmm.
very nice.
Did you eliminate the background?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what did you do on that?
Yeah. Yeah. I have my little technique that I use. It's a little different. I don't really select it. What I do is cover everything with black and then eliminate the black from the section that I want to be seen.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
So
Then
then you combine, like, so you make two, I guess, two layers and then you combine them.
No. Yes, that's right. I take the image and then I select in a thing in the layers column in Affinity. I choose what's it called? I don't know. I put over a black layer
Paint
over
over it. Yeah.
yeah, and then paint over
And
that
reverse it.
black, and
Yeah.
what that means is black is removing whatever is there.
Yeah.
So what is there is black, so you reveal what's under it.
Underneath
Yeah.
it. All right.
It's a
Good.
cool technique. Yeah.
It's
And you
definitely
can
having
do
that
really,
black
really,
Yeah.
you can do really, really fine things like that little piece of wire hanging off the smaller disc.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can do things at that level, at the pixel level.
Yeah.
One pixel at a time, and I
Wow.
like. I think, Susan, you said it would take hours to do, but that's what I really like to do. Take hours to do it.
While you're watching football.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But no, you did a great job on it. That black background really makes this stand out.
yeah.
You know, it jumps off the page at you.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Great. All right. So let me go on to Tom's second one. This one was really interesting. Now I'm going to try and move it down if I can. Nope. Okay, move it over. Okay, can everybody see it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there we go. And it was titled Very Close Vine.
Yeah, this was I just loved the form, and it was I'm sure everybody has seen the vines that desiccate, and but they had been wrapped around something,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and then they desiccate and fall off, and just the idea that this spiral survives is just, I just love it. And,
It almost looks like two really decayed bones.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
It
right.
does. Yeah.
yeah.
also that silvery color on it and the shiny. How did you do that?
That
Or
just
was
it was just there. Maybe it's some kind of I don't know, bacteria or something that's growing on it. And then that little string down in there too. I'm wondering if that might be mycelia, just part of the decaying process.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, right here where I'm pointing.
Yep. Yeah, that could turn into mushrooms or something. I don't know enough about that sort of thing, but
It's
Well, I like the leaves in the upper right.
Yeah.
I just think if those weren't there, I wouldn't enjoy looking at it as much for some reason. I just like.
Tom, what lens did you use, or how close were you to the?
oh gosh, I have no idea. I only have one lens, so
Okay.
but I think this was a pretty good size crop, pretty tight crop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing that jumps out too, it almost has like a bit of a painted look to it.
Yeah.
like over here and then down in this section. It,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
see, interesting.
very smooth look.
I really like to, crop way down so that it becomes a little less naturalistic and more painterly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great job.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Okay, so now okay, that takes care of Tom. We did Susan's. Okay, here we go with Bob's.
Oh, I'm afraid. Okay,
Oh, no.
this is. That got it bigger. Thank you.
Yeah,
So this was my cabin for decay.
yeah.
Frank and I took a trip below Siler City and saw this. So it was it's pretty shady in the woods.
Yeah.
So you can that gave some a little different uh added shade you can see with the trees, but it was just a really dilapidated old cabin and in the woods.
It was funny, because we almost drove by it without seeing it. And
Yeah.
and luckily the road wasn't too busy. We were able to pull over and then walked into the woods.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is a good time of year to spot those old buildings. I see a lot of them on my bike rides.
Yep.
Like sometimes I kind of forget that they're there during the summer, and then I just like come back. Oh yeah, that's right. There's where that old homestead is.
Yeah, I know when I like drive along 751, you see a lot of old barns,
Yeah.
related
Yeah.
buildings.
Yeah.
But that was a fun day when we went out there.
It was good. It was good.
So is the purple, did you kind of colorize it a little bit? Because it looks kind of,
no,
it has this
a
really-
little bit. A
Yeah.
little bit. I did
like-
do the hue saturation a little bit.
yeah.
Is it too heavy, you're saying?
no.
No, I like it. I like it.
No, because you got that nice purple here against the green over on the side of the building.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was the
Yeah, and
roof,
I did haze reduction. That seems to really help.
Yeah.
was it a tin roof?
Yeah.
It looks
Looks
like
like
it. I
it.
think it was.
It was
It's a metal
mostly covered.
roof.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
It is hard to tell.
It definitely is. I know. I've
Yeah.
installed many of them.
See, okay, now let me pull up Bob's next one.
Oh.
This
Now-
is in the rust division.
Right. Rust R Us.
Oh, yeah. I like
Yeah.
it.
And this
Oh.
this was the neatest place that had all these old gas pumps. Again, it's another area below Siler City, outside of
think-
Siler.
I think, Chuck, you may have mentioned it in an older meeting. Luna's trading post. Have you been there?
No, I haven't. But there's a place right off of 64 that's over there by like Ramsar or something. But that's not below. That's west. Over to the side.
Well,
So
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, you're right. It's not. I don't think it's below.
The one with all the gas pumps.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
yeah.
yeah.
I've
It's a
seen it.
cool area, cool place.
It
In
is.
I
fact,
don't know how
I
they
just
make any
drove by
money.
it.
But they're selling all these old things, I guess.
Yeah.
They got a lot of stuff there to sell. I don't know how they're making it. We were, asking each other, what kind of revenue could you be getting yearly from this? But you never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a
Right.
tombstone in the background?
That's what I was looking at. I think it is.
Because you've got the rusting truck, and then
Yeah.
we've got ashes to ashes, perhaps, in the background.
I am
Yeah,
not sure
yeah.
what that is.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I don't know. It
No.
could be. It looks like it.
Yeah. I mean, if it was the only one out there. I didn't see any other ones,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did they have any old bottles of Royal Crown Cola there?
Yeah, they could have. They have so much old stuff and every
Outside.
kind of,
Yeah.
Amoco and gas pump, falling apart. And I guess
Yeah.
people maybe they want to buy these old things, these
Uh,
old relics. But it
Remember
was
inside, they had that one room that held all the old gas signs, going back Esso,
Yeah.
Sinclair, all of them.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
that was a fun place to visit. We
Yeah,
definitely
it was
recommend
cool.
people go out there and give it a try. So let's go to, okay, now we got Helen coming up.
Don't gag.
There
Whoa.
Wow.
Ooh.
Very abstract.
Yeah. Ah,
Striking.
well,
Very striking.
that is a cell phone picture, which I hate to use, but that was just so wonderful. Up at the dump on 15501.
Mm.
While you would paint a bin that you were going to throw stuff in white, I don't know, but it was just so interesting that I took it with the cell phone and said, okay, I'll go back up there and get it again. And time I went up there, the white was gone and it had just rusted solids.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I didn't get to retake it, but I played with it. I got some interesting stuff by really, really cropping in tight, but I just decided I liked the more distant one better.
Now, what was this? Like the side of a metal building or something? I don't.
It's the side of one of the bins at the dump.
Sure.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's still there, but each time I go, there's less white. It's just rusting. I think you could sit in front of it and watch it rust. And some of that may not be rust. We won't talk about what it might be. I don't know. But,
Well, it's funny down here. You can see some things inside of it. It looks like a little map of Texas.
Yeah.
So everybody's got to find a hidden meaning inside this.
Yeah.
The top almost looks like wavy stalactites.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
It's odd to me how differently I see things now after in the photography. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have even noticed. I would have thought, ugh, a rusty bin and a dump. But I begin to see things differently now.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
It is.
Well, I remember Mike always saying there's a picture within a picture. You can take a picture of the dumpster itself, but then zoom in like you did here, where it fills up. You crop in way on it, and you get a whole new unique image out of it.
Yeah, I've got any number of even tighter crops, but
yeah,
I just sent that one because I thought it might make you gag.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to Helen's second one.
Okay, that is with my Canon.
That's awesome.
It's part of this was taken down at the New Hope Valley Railroad.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Prop into one of the really old train wheels. And I had flipped it so that I guess that's kind of like a drive shaft, that white thing. And of course it's a very tight crop on that. But I just found it when I did do the crop very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like the shapes. I also
got
like this kind of a pastel-y version of rust. I like that.
Yeah.
It's very soft.
Very soft.
I also like the angle that it's at.
Yeah.
I turned it and
Really
turned
nice.
it and turned it till I came to that, because I think that should be, I think it originally was almost parallel to the ground, and I just played with the angle a little bit and did that to it.
Yeah, nice crop.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like it.
And I like the
Gives it a
fact
lot
that
of movement.
the background is blackened.
Mhm.
So you're not, your eyes aren't drawn to anything in the background here.
Yeah.
I did go
Yeah.
through and spot most of them. I see one area I missed, but most of them, the background I did get out. Although I did lighten over where you've got the cursor. I did
Mhm.
lighten that a little bit just so it
Hmm.
wouldn't be solid black. I thought that would
When you
Mhm.
eliminate the background like that, it gives it a real studio effect, as though you had shot it in a controlled setting. It looks,
Right.
it really looks like it could be shot, in a studio under a softbox.
Yep.
Mhm.
Good
Hmm.
point.
Mm-hmm.
No, good. Really. Now, when did you
It's
take
good.
that one, Helen?
when the group went a couple
Okay.
of years ago,
Okay.
so that's about 2 years old, but I was just going through my archives and came up with several that I could have used. There was one that I played with a long time, and I didn't play with this one much at all and ended up liking it better.
Yeah, because the reason why I'm asking, I think I was on that trip, and I haven't been back there since. And I wonder if it's grown any, the site.
Yes, it is full of newer, in my lifetime things now. Just full of Pullman cars. There are more trains than you can shake a stick at out there now, but they don't change. I don't understand the funding there, but I remember them talking about volunteers.
Right.
But nothing seems to get accomplished. But
No,
it
there's a lot of
seems
HAP
to be-
work going on. Yeah.
There seems to be a lot more equipment there than there was. There's an Aberdeen and Rockfish, which I knew that train when I grew up in Fayetteville. There's a Aberdeen and Rockfish engine down there. There's a Corps of Engineers down there. They have all sorts of things. They clearly don't know what to do with them.
I think one of the things I enjoyed most down there was the old mail car, where they had the old magazines and old postcards
Mm-hmm.
inside of it. So you really felt like you stepped back in time going into that car.
Mm-hmm.
It would be worth, for those of us that went on that excursion, it would be worth going back because I think it changed a lot since we went.
I would think, because it has been a while. I hope they've added more. And they had rides at that point. I don't know if they've expanded those. But no, that's really nice. I really like that image.
Nice.
Okay, so now we're going to go on to Josephine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a bench. The wood has not decayed yet.
Right. But it's getting close.
It's getting close.
Getting
Under
close.
attack.
And I like the shallow depth of field, how you got the front of these planks, I guess they are, in focus. And then as soon as you move back, they go out.
Yeah.
I think I forgot to make a note of the settings. I might have been using my macro lens on this, either that or it was about 70 to 200 at f4.
Yeah, I like the repeating nature of the pattern. It's really nice.
Thank you.
And the shadows, the lighting.
Yeah.
The angle is good to give the lighting, the shadows.
It almost looks like a keyboard when you first lay eyes on it.
Yeah.
Well, it does,
Yeah, it
doesn't
does.
it? Yeah.
That's great
I hadn't
texture.
thought about that before.
A nice picture.
Yeah, very interesting.
I would like the way it uses the background being fuzzy, because usually, you always think, oh, you don't want to do that, but this really works so well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all of it, when I looked at it, I thought all of the interest was right there up in the lower right quadrant, on the one that has so much lichen forming on it. And then the rest of it was just background. So I made it just be background.
Very effective.
Beautiful shot.
Very good.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Really nice. Okay, we got the next one. Oh, didn't open. There we go.
Mm.
Okay.
That's
Lovely.
near Wimberley, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Lovely.
That is.
Really nice.
Yeah, I like the
Great.
red truck
Great pick.
against the cactus. You know, you got that balance, and then the tree framing out the truck.
Mhm.
Beautiful. And the red barn contrasts with the red truck
Yeah.
Oh,
in the
Oh, yeah.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
just
that's
a really
so-
nice balance of the composition, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree.
you.
did. Beautiful.
it's so romantic. Wow.
Yeah.
It looks like a greeting card.
It is.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. It is saying, please come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
it's really nice.
Something about red trucks that
There is, isn't there?
Old Chevy trucks.
right,
Mhm.
right. Now all you needed was a Christmas tree hanging out of the back, and then
Is that what do you think that is in that tree? Do you think that's Spanish moss or
It's Spanish, yeah. It's some version of Spanish moss. It's what starts to cover trees like that when they're getting a little bit old and somewhat tired. And you can see that it has had right much work done on it, pruning
Yeah.
off dead branches. And
Mhm.
I don't know how many years the tree has left on it, but it has lived for a good long time.
yeah. I
and
like
the curves in that the trunk of the tree, just so
Right.
beautiful. Oh, that
and
is
then how
super.
that branch
job.
goes off to the left, and wonder how there must have been a long branch out there.
It was.
But the
Mhm.
truck just fits right in there.
Mhm.
I thought whoever parked the truck there had a really excellent artistic eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a dead battery.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Mhm.
It's
No,
gorgeous.
very
It's,
nice.
it's a beautiful shot.
It
Yeah.
really.
It is.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, so now then the first one coming up is one of Tim's. Now, definitely decay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate soul that perished on the sand at the beach.
Ah,
mhm.
But I
And-
just kind of like how it the way the waves have left the marks on the sand,
Yeah.
yeah.
kind of like it washed its soul out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, that's
this
its
was-
beak down sort of in the middle at the bottom, isn't it?
yes, right there, yes, right here.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
just
Wow.
walking down the beach.
Yeah.
And you look at this looks like something in this, like you said, the soul leaving the
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that too.
wow. What
Boy.
where beach was that? Out on the
Opsal Island.
oh, okay. Oh, all right. Okay, yeah, I've been out there.
That's usually the beach that I go to. You can get the best sunrise photos out there.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, great.
It's
Nice.
very
Awesome.
effective in black and white.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I tend to see that way most times.
Yeah.
Most of my work is black and white. In fact, I'd say 90% of it.
That is
Really beautiful.
a
Nice
beautiful shot.
Yes, it is.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So, here we go with Tim's next one. There. This one I really
Mm.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, hit me when I opened it up.
The other
colors
10%.
That was shot with a long lens, probably a 180, and
Mhm.
a 180-2.8, I think is what I shot it with. We were walking in downtown Wilmington, and we were waiting at a light, and this was like down the alley, and it just the red just really stood out. It's one of those things where color overruled black and white, even though the texture screams black and white.
Yeah.
But the red window couldn't be ignored.
No.
So I shot it in color and black and white, and the black and white, I've never used it.
Well, I like the red, the contrast, the red against the blue
Yeah,
surrounding it. That makes it stand
yeah,
out.
that was on the same beach trip when we went into Wilmington from Topsail.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
I
That was
like this.
probably
I like the sealed cracks also.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to
Yes.
save it.
Yeah.
Just a really cool pattern. Nice, squigglies.
Mhm.
Looks like a watercolor too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And the odd thing about it is I don't think I've done anything to it.
No.
This was last, I'm very new at post-production. I don't, because I grew up working in film, I'm very selective about my shots and about my settings because it's much easier, I guess, once you learn now to alter in post-production as to when in my day, it was a pain in the ass in the darkroom to dodge and burn. And it was much harder than it is with a mouse. So I'm more selective about my settings and I bracket just about everything. I have my D5 set to shoot 3 in a row at 3 different settings.
Mm-hmm.
Bracketing.
Yeah, so that I have it bracketed because again, it's just the way I grew up in school and shooting film is, you're really selective. Film was expensive and you only had 36 images or 24.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm real selective about what I shoot, mainly because that and because I don't know what the hell I'm doing around Lightroom very much. I don't use it. I have it and I've used it to pop the contrast. I've played with hues and turned out some really weird stuff, but I haven't been able to get to the skill to where it's effectively going to help my photography yet.
Mm-hmm. You know what I look at it and I would like to try on it is to put the red window against the black and white background.
Yeah.
How that would look, and just take out the window, go completely around it with the circling tool, and then go to the reverse and convert that to black and white. It'd be interesting to see what it looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah, but in black and white photography, a red filter, you often will use a 25A when you're shooting with black and white, or if you want a no X1, a light green. But it would be interesting to see me in the darkroom to put a red filter over this image to see what it would kind of give you that that red would be kind of black.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Really
I
nice.
shoot with a lot of filters.
A lot of great shapes inside that area around the window.
Yeah, decay for sure.
Really effective.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's go on to Tim's last one. Tim had 3. This one,
That's great.
That's cool. Wow.
the old Ford Falcon. That's
I was on my way to Motorco downtown to shoot a show. This is back when my legs were good enough. This was about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. This is one of the images in my wife and I's greeting card line. But I was going to shoot a show, and this thing was parked right inside of a yard of like a fenced-in garage, and I used a 51.4 and shot between the chain links. I was just fascinated by it. Again, I shot it in color and black and white, and the black and white didn't hold up.
okay. All right.
Great.
Colors are awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Was it actually this color?
Pardon me?
Was it actually this color?
Yes. Yeah. It was originally, I mean, the rest of the car had the green. The car was actually green, but the trunk was very rusted, as well as the hood. The roof, I was limited to wanting to eliminate the chain link fence.
Yeah.
When I shoot a show, I generally have a 20 and a 50 and a 70 to 200. So I didn't really have anything that would accommodated except for the 50 and putting it actually right through the chain link.
Wow.
Nice. What
You
does
know,
it,
it's kind of like a metaphor. You can still look pretty good and be old and decrepit, you know?
It's kind of my motto.
That's
Yeah, everybody's trying to go for that.
Yeah,
'Cause
Jim, have
can't
you ever
fight it.
been to that place down in it's about an hour north of Atlanta called Old Car City?
Hmm.
Look it up
hour north?
online. It's a fascinating place.
An hour north of Atlanta?
It's about an hour north on off of, I guess it's 85. So
Like
I
up
still quite
near
a
Lake
bit of distance.
Hartwell, or
I'm sorry.
up near Lake Hartwell area, or
You know, I don't remember where it was near. A couple from my old photography group used to go down there and have photo trips down there. And I forget why my wife and I were down there, but we said, hey, we're close enough. Let's stop by and see it. And it was unbelievable. It was amazing. There's, I don't know how many acres and how many cars they have there. All the cars are out in the woods. And, you know, various degrees of decay. And it was just an amazing place. I spent a couple of hours there.
Wow. Jim, what band were you shooting that day? Do you remember?
yeah,
I'm sorry.
It was, back then it was Nicky Bloom and the Gramblers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know them. Okay.
They're a band from they're a band from the Bay Area.
Oh,
Okay.
And they gained notoriety. They're broke up now because Tim and his wife divorced, but they were noted for recording music in their tour van. And if you get a chance to go to YouTube and look at Nicky Bloom and the Gramblers, they did all these van videos of one driving, the guys in the back playing, and while they're driving. And anyway, that's how I found them. And then when they came to town,
yeah, to check that out.
Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting.
okay. Now, okay, if close that one. Now we'll go on to Chuck. Okay, here we go.
Nice.
That one's from a few years ago. I actually used a tripod to shoot this. It was, I think, a quarter of a second. And I think it was an f4. And I think I had that ISO at 100. But I cropped it quite a bit. Anyway, and I didn't really do a lot for adjusting just a little changes in hue. I think I even maybe touched the auto adjust and was okay with what it did. And but that's it in Pittsburgh. I believe it's part of the old reservoir that's Town Lake Park. And there's an entrance to Town Lake Park right across from Porton. If you go on the little road there, and that's where you go back to the town utility yard. And just before you get to the town yard which is on the left, this is just before it. And I guess it's been abandoned for 50 years or something. I don't know, but it's kind of an interesting building.
Man, that thing is bone chilling.
Yeah.
That's got a horror movie written all over it.
It does.
Yeah. Well,
It just looks spooky. And and there's another like a wheelhouse or there's a dam that's in disrepair. It's still holding in the water for Town Lake Park, but anyway, that's even more spooky and decrepit. I think I was thinking about staging a shot using some light, at night, and doing some spooky looking weird lights coming in. You could do the same thing in that one. You could do some spooky lighting in that.
Oh, definitely.
On this shot, I think the fact that you used the low ISO made it so you didn't have to do that much post-production work, because the colors are so rich because of the low ISO, and you used a tripod. So I think that it's beautiful. I think the colors are just rich all the way through it. The saturation of the colors is pretty much even. Beautiful. I like it.
Yeah, I was worried that it had a little bit of a greenish cast to it, but it's if it has that, it's just natural because I really didn't do much.
Looks
Wow.
like
Mostly
mold,
color, but
mold maybe on the
Mold,
walls or something. that
yeah,
like
I
gave
think
it
that is
green.
yeah, and the light of that day, it was, you know, as you can see, it was kind of overcast and you know, kind of flat light, but anyway,
That's the best light
Yeah.
to shoot in.
yeah, yeah.
It's lovely even lighting for something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah, you
terrific.
really don't see any shadows, do you? Yeah,
No, and you don't want to, I don't think,
yeah,
because there's so
Interesting.
much going on in the picture that
yeah.
having
There
the
would be
even
there would
lighting
be
is
so many
perfect.
shadows from those trees. If it, yeah,
Mhm.
An interesting thing is you've got like the second floor is brick. And over here, then down below is
looks like it's cast, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
like cement
Except-
slabs. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. It's interesting.
it
Yeah.
is. They're great. Great
Ooh.
shot.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Really nice.
Okay, and here's Chuck's second
Good choice.
one. Okay.
Hmm.
This is great. I love the hay bales there, right outside the just like dump there, you know, and then just
Yeah,
hay.
Mhm.
this is a little farmhouse. I guess it's a farmhouse, and it's really close to where I live, just off of if you're at the intersection of 15501 and 902, where that oil change place is, and if you go toward town on 902, then make the first left. It's old. It's not Old Goldston Road, but it's Goldston Road, 1010 County Road 10. Well, it's still 902, but then
902.
anyway, on the right, just there's that Roca Fuerte Church on the left, and just past that, there's a old, like, maybe a gas station or general store building that was on the left, and right across the street from it is this farmhouse, and I've noticed it, and there's just behind it, there's a pasture that somebody must rent, or because there's always cattle in it, so it gets used for grazing. But I don't know how long this place has been there. Some time, but yeah, I just took a walk early one morning last week.
Yeah, I can see that
Glows.
the light source coming there on the front porch. It looks like it might be morning light, is it?
Yeah, morning light. So I'm
Okay.
facing kind of west there, southwest.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it glow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I selected this one, because I like the filtered sunlight coming through.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
It
love the
has
chair
depth.
on the porch there. Yeah, chair. I know it looks like a table and a chair still sitting there.
Yeah, I took several shots of this. I like this one the best, and I did crop it in quite a bit from. You know, I was hearing Mike in my ear. You know, always shoot from far away. Give yourself more options.
I mean, a normal lens for me is a 35.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I
think-
forgot to see. This is actually it's my super wide angle that I use a lot of times for night photography, but it was a 24 millimeter based on a crop sensor, and a 400 ISO and f8 at 125th of a second.
It's really nice.
Nice
Yeah.
picture.
Well, thank you.
Very nice.
That is great. Okay, and now we've got Chuck's third.
Yeah, sorry you guys. I appreciate indulging me on the third one.
Oh,
And that's to the side of this farmhouse, and I didn't know I'd come out, you know, shooting through the fence, but I did it, and again, ISO 400, 24 millimeters, f8, and a 25th of a second. I wish that I tried to get the sky behind it to show a little more detail, but I was unable to manipulate it without making it look really artificial. So I just left it as it was. But obviously it's rust. Yeah.
I don't think you need it. The sky, I don't think you need it. The foreground is so powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And I like the leading lines of this fence leading you into the.
That's why I left it. Yeah, I thought it was, and I like the you know, kind of the geometric juxtaposition of the straight
Right,
line
right.
and the circle, and yeah.
It does add to it.
The red play in the tread of the tire is real nice.
Oh yes, thanks. I like that thing too. And obviously this thing still runs because, you know, it's still got clay in the tires.
Yeah.
And the engine
Still
looks
have
pretty
air in
clean. Yeah, and they have air, and the engine looks pretty clean, doesn't it?
Does.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the engine looks clean. There's a little bit of rust on
Lubricated.
the cover over the engine, but the engine looks good.
Yeah.
This,
I love the bird poop on the gate.
yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a little bird poop, a little lichen, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
mixed in
yeah.
there. Yeah.
And the color in that fence that comes down to the bottom there is all that purple and green and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
fascinating.
pretty.
Yeah.
That is.
Do we think this might have been the tractor that pulled the carrier for the hay bales up to that hedge?
Yeah, I wonder.
It
I
looks
mean, it could
old
have-
enough.
Could have been. The
Yeah.
hay could have come out of his field. I don't know. Maybe.
No, great.
Really
shape.
nice.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Now, okay, I have two. Then these will be the last two, and this one was that same house that Bob and I stopped at. You know, he kind of focused on the outside. I went on one side, and I took a picture through the window. And what I liked about it was, it's obvious this house is falling apart because look at the doorway here. Doorway's leaning one way, and then you go through the end and the other side, and the window
The other way.
leaning a different way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but you know, it was just I look at that and I just say, what a shame that that was somebody's home at one point, and it's just rotting away to nothing. And at some point, they'll probably either just fall down or somebody will come along and tear it down.
Is that a doorbell to the right, or is it like something that held like a pole or something?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is that a doorbell to the right there? To the right? Yeah, up.
Oh yeah, right.
Looks like-
Yeah, you know what? I didn't notice with that. Although it's on the inside, there's a.
So then it looked like it might have
Oh,
been
that's an
something
inside
that held a
room.
rod.
Yeah, maybe it
It's
had
a door. It's a door handle. There's a key.
Yeah, there's a
Thing.
keyhole
Oh,
just
yeah.
below.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
And then
It could be an outside door that's just open.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
yeah, look, it could have just been pushed open, and to the right of that, you go outside, and there was like another wing that was just completely separated from the house. But it was
Kitchen,
just,
maybe.
The sunlight, the way the sunlight has fallen on that and the shadows is just.
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
yeah, we're
picture.
lucky the sun was coming through on that side when we
Mhm.
I
stopped
just
off.
like all of that, the different directions, the angles of the straight lines. I just really like looking at that, and the sunlight does, repeats it also.
Yep, it does. No,
Yeah,
that was
and
fun.
the
fun
two
trip.
big patches of sunlight and then the window going through, they all work together beautifully.
Yes.
The lights
Yeah, that
were
was tough.
coming
I didn't
from the
want
right.
that window, the back window, to be blown out.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't. I was able to. I just decreased the highlights, and
Uh-huh.
that was and it came out exposed nicely out that back window. It's just
Mhm.
it's at an
Mhm.
angle. It's
Good picture.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Mhm.
You know, it drives me crazy when things aren't straight.
yeah,
And-
right.
Um,
Living in this house would drive you crazy.
I
And then
should
my-
put that on the
More
wall.
reasons than
Thanks.
that.
And
Teach
the
me in
last one
meditation.
was
Not be-
taken at that Luna's trading post, and it was an old tractor that I took one picture of the tractor, complete picture of the tractor, but then I thought, you know what, I'd rather just zero in on the engine because there was so much rust and different colors and the reds and yellows and
Yeah.
I'm again getting back to that picture within a picture. I mean, the one of the tractor was nice, but I liked this one better. And
It's a Minneapolis Moline.
Yeah, I've never
Oh,
heard
I
of
was
one
trying
of
to.
those.
I was trying to
Yeah, that
figure out
goes
the
way
name.
back.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that brand before.
No.
Yeah, it goes. I
either.
can remember my farming days.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Bob was approaching these with a completely different angle than I was, because he was raised on a farm. So
Yep.
That was a fun day. If anybody gets a chance to go out there, if you haven't been, go out there. You could spend a lot of time there getting some nice photographs. Okay.
Yeah, really cool place.
Yeah, again, the lighting in that
Yeah, and I
adds
didn't
dimension.
do anything to it other than maybe boost the texture a little bit and the clarity. Didn't really do anything with the saturation. It is what it was. Didn't really want to overdo it. But I always and I like the
Cool.
gauges over. It looks like a face. Looks like an alien.
Yeah, it does.
I also like all the colors. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
amazing. And the textures, there's so many different textures too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reds and blues of the wires, and yeah, it was great. It was a fun trip. I'm glad we did that.
That was great.
So let me
Nice.
stop sharing. Okay. There we go. Okay, the only thing wanted to bring up before, unless anybody else has something, was we talked about it in the beginning. Helen, Mike, and I thought it would be a good idea that when we have our meeting on December 19th, it's going to be at the chapel, but it'll also be via Zoom, so it'll be a hybrid, to have a little holiday party after we complete the picture review and any other stuff. Bill will be there for his tips and tricks. So I just wanted to see from the group here today, how many would be interested in doing that? Raise your hands. Okay.
I would be, but I'll be gone.
You okay. And I know Linda won't be here. She's going to be in Cuba, I think she said. So I
No,
think
she's in Cuba right now. She'll be back then.
Oh, because she said I thought she said she wouldn't be able to. Okay, all right, I misread it. So what I'm going to do is after this meeting, this afternoon, I'm going to put out a memo or an email to everybody just to ask for your thoughts on whether you want to do it and some ideas for snacks or whatever. I looked at Publix has a little sandwich platter of the mini sandwiches. So I thought maybe get a mixture of like chicken salad, tuna, and bring those in, and then if different people could bring in some snacks or whatever to go along with it and some refreshments.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Sounds good.
I'll put something out after this is done.
Hey, Tom, you having an earthquake there?
I'm sorry?
was
No,
asking Tom
I
if
know
he's
I've
having
got
a
my
good
laptop on my lap.
It's like, watch out for those records. They might hit you.
Yeah, they're gonna fall on you.
Me too, man.
But no, it was a good meeting. I'm glad we were able to do it. And
That's great.
Thank you, Frank, for stepping up, man. That's awesome.
no, that was fine. I just
Yeah,
panicked.
thank you, Frank. Thank
I
you
was
very
telling
much.
Helen that my only gripe with Zoom is every time I go in, they made changes. And I was having a hell of a time trying to get the photos to come up. But it worked out okay. I figured it out.
Oh, yeah, it was fine.
Worked out good.
So
All right,
perfect.
well, we'll see
All
you
right.
see everybody in 2 weeks. And
Okay.
the next
I'll miss
one
you guys.
is so,
Yeah.
so
What's the
ugly it's
next
cute.
challenge?
So ugly it's cute.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
gonna be a
that's
tough
right.
one.
Okay.
Selfies.
All right. Well, take it easy, everybody. Have a nice
All right,
day.
see y'all.
You
Bye.
too.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Facilitating this, Frank.
Uh,
Bye.